In do-it-yourself news, missing Alabama boy found 13 years later after his own abduction. Now, Julian Hernandez is now 18 years old, and he disappeared from his Alabama home at the age of 5 and spent 13 years living under an alias. If you guys do not know what an alias is when you get a brand new name, everything about you changes except for your own body. So you have a new name, new social security number, everything completely changes for you. And this kid had this happen at 5 years old. Now, a 5-year-old boy who disappeared in Alabama 13 years ago has been found after he became suspicious about his own identity and went to the FBI. And it'll get into why he was suspicious later on in the article. It had to do with high school and applying for colleges and all that. So, a quote from Lieutenant Johnny Evans, an officer in the Alabama city of Vestavia Hills, I think is how you pronounce it, where Julian disappeared in August 2002. Quote, I've been doing this for 25 years and it's something I've never experienced before. I don't know if they're talking about the abduction, or I don't know, because I'm sure that he's dealt with more abductions than this, but he said that he's never experienced anything like this before. His mother Julian's mother, raised the alarm to, I don't know, to the police or to who. I would assume to the police. When her son just vanished from their home, suspicion immediately fell on Bobby Hernandez. And if you guys are wondering why the suspicion fell on him, because these two were divorced and the mother had custody over the son and the father didn't. I hear about these stories so many times that the father or the mother, vice versa, whoever has custody of the child, the other parent usually gets charged with the kidnapping of their child, because they do not have custody and they want to see their kid, but they do it illegally and they kidnap him. I hear about this so many times in the news, so that's why the father immediately fell on suspicion, because he did not have custody of the child. So authorities in Alabama followed many leads over the years from Florida to Canada, but were unable to find him. Now, I guess he wasn't really trying to get back with his mother, because I guess he didn't realize what actually happened because he was so little, so he just assumed that he was with his father, or maybe they got a divorce, but maybe the kid didn't know that his father actually kidnapped him when he was only 5 years old. So he's been living 13 years under a completely different name than he was born with. So who knows? I believe that Julian is his actual real name and not the alias one. So the deception unraveled when Julian, now 18 years old, and living in Cleveland, Ohio, started to look into his university options. And if you guys are from the States, university, they call college university, like England and Australia and that. But here in the U.S., we call it college, but it's whatever. When he was looking into his university options, he realized that his social security number did not match up to his name. So maybe he kept the same name. They don't go into detail on if his alias that his dad gave him changed, that he changed his name or anything, but the school had found out that his social security number did not match up with his real name. So I get it's for sure that his father changed his social security number at some point. So Julian spoke to his school counselor, who led him to the FBI's missing person unit. Now, I don't know why the school would immediately jump to the missing persons unit. Maybe if your social security number doesn't match up, they just assume that maybe you went missing at some point and somebody found you. I don't know. I don't know why the school went straight to the FBI's missing person unit. His father, Bobby Hernandez, has been arrested and charged with child abduction, and this happened again at 5 years old, when he was 5 years old. So Lieutenant Evans said Julian's mother was shocked at the news, which I don't know why she was so shocked. If I was married and divorced with a kid and I had full custody over the kid, and then the wife came and took him, I would immediately think that the wife came to take him because I have full custody and she doesn't, and she wants to see obviously her kid. So I would have went straight to accusing the ex-wife. Quote, I don't know. Oh, the quote is from Lieutenant Evans again. She had not given up, but she hasn't heard anything in quite a while. So it's been 13 years, and I don't know when the last time she heard anything was until this point. But she has given up. She hasn't given up, but she hasn't heard anything in a while. While the police do not know if the mother and son have been reunited, the police said that they had been in contact via phone, text message, email. They don't go into specifics on how they communicated. Now here's a quote, but I don't know who it's from because they don't specify it on the website. Quote: It was just kind of a shock to her, and all of a sudden on a Monday afternoon to be told he's found. Now I'm assuming that it came from either the police or Lieutenant Evans again, but I don't know. So this is really a crazy story when how the father kidnapped the son at 5 years old, and the son had no clue for 13 years that he was kidnapped when he was little, and I guess he didn't wonder why the mother wasn't in the picture at all from what he can remember. But I want to thank you guys for watching, and the link for this article will be down in the description, and the link for last week's news article will be down in the description also. So until next time, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And you got another chance news. Hugging dogs saved from death row and start a new life together. Now, when they say death row, they do not mean like well, it's similar